Chapter 16. The Way of the Divine and Demonic. The Divine and Demonic Treasures. So, two classes of beings. The Devas and the Asuras. Those with heavenly characteristics and those who have a demonic heritage. How to discern these two. So, Gita lays it in such that to discern these two, the divine attributes of nature, fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness in knowledge and yoga, there's charity, generosity, self-control, sacrifice, letting go, worship, the study of the scriptures, austerity and uprightness. What is being said here is the yamas and the niyamas of the eightfold limbs of Patanjali. It's the same thing. We understand these divine qualities of Dharma through these qualities. And he goes on, non-violence. He says ahimsa, truth, satya, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to slander. That's not talking bad about anybody. Compassion to beings, and a freedom from covetousness, wanting to grasp what others obtain. There's gentleness, modesty, and absence of a fickleness or animosity towards others. You see in divine quality courage, bravery, forgiveness here, and fortitude of mind, purity, and a freedom from malice. So it's freedom from anger and overwhelming pride. So these belong to him who is born with divine attributes, divine treasures, he said. Well, what does a person who has inherited a heritage of demonic treasures look like? There's ostentation. There's holding oneself to be better. Arrogance, self-conceit, anger, rudeness, ignorance. There's the quality of tamas, the veiling of the shadow over others. These belong to him who is born to the heritage of the demons. So, the demons, you see, and the Devas and the Asuras are like the two polarities that we've identified. What Krishna and Arjuna symbolize is the central system now. So the two natures and how to transcend them. When you go past beyond the pairs of opposites, that's the supreme self, the Purushottama. The divine treasures have said to be for the purpose of liberation, and the heritage of demons for control. So one liberates himself by traveling upward, one by descending downwards and taking the path of the heritage of the demons, or the Asuras. You seek to control other beings. But grieve not, O Pandava, for you are born and have a divine treasure. Which means Arjuna is on the path of liberation. So there are two types of beings created in this world, the divine and the demonic, the Devas and the Asuras. The divine have been described at length. Now hear how the demonic is described. So the men of demonic nature, they know not what to do and what to refrain from doing. So there's confusion. Purity is not in them, nor good conduct, nor truth. So there's not the discernment here of, is it okay to lie, to kill, to cheat, to steal? What about take other people's wives? The purity is not there, nor the good conduct, nor truth to actually discern these things. Is the quality of those who tread the path of demonic nature is ignorance. There's a continual veil that's arisen, and the path of liberation is overcoming the veil of ignorance, going beyond the two opposites. So they say the world, the demonic, they speak like this. They say the world has no truth to it. There's nothing out there. They'll say it has no moral basis. It's not based on anything substantial. Everything is relative. And there is no God. What can be proved by science? Where's God? And you smell, hear, taste, touch, or feel God? Where is this God? So this is the logic that those of the heritage of the demons use. And they say, well, there's no God. Everything must be brought about the union of the male and female essence. And it's desire alone that feeds the world. What else can it be but desire? And the fulfillment of my desire is the highest goal. The power of desire. So the demons hold such a view. The Asuras hold this view. And they slowly become lost. A lost soul, because they no longer can discern truth from falsehood. Even that there's no purity in them, nor good conduct, nor truth. So they're lost and have little understanding. Means the bodhi, Bodhi, discerning mind becomes lost. And the fierce deeds arise as enemies of the world for its destruction. So now it views the world as separate from it. And because now it doesn't see all beings within itself, it doesn't have the all-seeing eye, the demons view humans as the enemy to the world or as obstacles for the fulfillment of my desire. So humans now are viewed as enemies. And hence they undertake this war for the control of others and to bring destruction, and I will reap as many resources as I can for the fulfillment of my own pleasures, for the fulfillment of my maximum desire. This is satanic in a pure sense, how it's being explained. So the demons give themselves to these insatiable desires. They're full of hypocrisy. They'll tell you what not to do, and then they'll do it. They don't care about the age. They don't care about little children. They're full of pride, arrogance. They hold false views through confusion, and they act with an impure resolve. Which means that they will get whatever they need done, even if it comes to a cost of hurting you in the process. But at the same time, hypocrites, because they'll hurt you, but at the same time, deep down, they want that love and loyalty. They want that. Because they deny that for the sake of power, they become jealous over others, jealous over the Devas who possess such love and loyalty. Hence, these demons, they're beset with innumerable cares, which will end only with death. So the end of desire, it's never ending. Desires keep going and folding, and they look on the gratification of desire as the highest goal, and a feeling sure that this is all. Trapped by desire, they keep seeking the fulfillment of it, but it's never satisfied. It's like a well that never fills. It's like a well with a hole in it. They're bound by 100 ties of hope. One day I'll get this. One day I'll have this desire. Someday I'll be rich. I need more. And they've given themselves wholly to the lust and the wrath. They've become possessed by the wave fields. The energy is there. They're no longer in control of themselves. So they strive by unjust means, through cruelty if necessary, to amass wealth and as much power as they can for the satisfaction and the fulfillment of their desires and passions, but never being satisfied, for it can never, ever be satiated. So, they speak like this. This I've gained today. That I will fulfill tomorrow. This is mine. And that also too shall be mine. That enemy I have killed. Others too, if they get in my way, I shall kill. I will slay all foes who interfere with me. I am the Lord. It is I who enjoys. It is I who am prosperous, mighty, and am happy and supreme. So it is I am who rich. I am of the high birth of the nobles. It is I who has no equal. It is I who will make sacrifices. It's even right here. This, in a sense, is very much different from the way Krishna was speaking when he was saying I as an embodiment of the Supreme Self. In this, there's ignorance of saying I am the rich, I am the powerful, I have slain, I have killed, this is my wealth, this is mine, I have done this. For in this ignorance, the ignorance of not knowing who the doer is, this is one who has not recognized their nature, for the nature now is an enemy unto them, it's something to be conquered. Others are to be conquered. Appearances are to be overcome, rather than something that's integrated and seen within you. So this is the difference. It's very subtle. I will offer the sacrifice, says the demonic. It is I who will give. It is I who will rejoice. Thus, they're deluded by the ignorance of themselves as the doer, when it is nature that does. Remember, the eightfold quality has ahamkara, ego, as one of the eightfold attributes. And hence, the demonic are bewildered by many fantasies. They're entangled in the meshes of delusion. They're addicted to the gratification of lust, never getting an end to it, but always seeking it, striving. I'll get this. I will have this. It will be mine. And thus they fall into a loathsome hell because it can never be satisfied. And this is a hell related to the relative world, where you reap the fruit of your actions. And so even their worship, even their offerings are contaminated with a false sense of self and identity. They're self-honored, which means they honor only themselves. They're haughty, full of pride, arrogance. They're filled with this pride and the intoxication of wealth. I have this, I have more than you, I am superior to you. And so they ostentatiously perform sacrifices only in name, so that if I will give you this amount of money, and so that you can put my name on the building, so that I will be known for how generous I am. See, it is an utter disregard of precepts or what has been declared in the Vedas of the twofold yoga, the yoga of wisdom through renunciation, or the yoga of action through renouncing the fruit of the offering. Those precepts that are laid down in the Vedas are not followed by the demonic. The fulfillment and satisfaction of desire is the highest goal. So they're possessed of an egotism. They're possessed of power. They're possessed of pride. They possessed of lust, possessed of anger. And these people, they're jealous of others. They're even envious of their own nature. They don't like when they see their nature doing good. They view humans as the problem in the world. So they hate. They hate others in their body, and thus they hate me, says Krishna, as the embodiment of the Purushottama, of the Supreme Self. You hate another. You do unto another as you would have done unto yourself. So the fate of those who travel this pathway, travel this view, and this is a very common view in society, so it's interesting to outlay this, is that these cruel haters, these evil doers, these vilest among men, I hurl them into the wounds of the demons and the cycles of birth and rebirth. It means that it's defy the will of the Creator, the Father in heaven, who says that these beings shall take birth again and again and travel that pathway. Or maybe one day you will walk the path of ascension and liberate yourself from these follies. Having fallen into the wounds of the demons and deluded from birth to birth in an endless wheel, they never attained me, says Krishna, the imperishable. For, O son of Kunti, they go farther down to the lowest states, denser and denser into the realms of matter, denser and denser into the realms of form. Thus, the threefold gateway that opens this door. There are three gateways of this hell leading to the ruin of the self. And this is the hell that one experiences, and that one there's lust, anger, and greed. Therefore let man renounce these three, as you will experience it. And the great results that follow from this renunciation, the man who has escaped these three gates of darkness, practice what is good for himself, and thus attain the supreme goal. So, the supreme goal, and it was said in the previous chapters that the supreme goal, all of your fulfillments, all of your duties are already done. They're actualized, already accomplished. So the searching and the striving, the longing, the path of liberation is transcended. The highest goal is already attained. So, for those who are lost, they can follow the scriptures of the injunctions, as like was told in the Vedas, or wise men who outlay these various paths. So he who discards these injunctions of the scriptures and they act upon just the impulse of desire, they neither attain perfection nor happiness, nor do they attain the supreme goal. So bliss ain't for them, because their attainment of desire is endless. They never actually recognize Brahman, which is the pure touch of bliss, Satchidananda. That's out of the picture. Nor the spirit that pervades all beings, the seed, the Purusha. They never actualize perfection. And hence they never realize the supreme goal. Therefore, says Krishna, let the scriptures be your authority in determining what to be done and what not to be done. And once you've learned these injunctions of the scriptures, you should do your work in the world. So, I'm recommending to study, practice, and that this Gita itself can be taken as an authority, an authoritative guide. This can be trusted. As this system is an ancient one, and its fruits have been proven by many who have attained that perfection and recognition of Brahman. Thus, he ends by that you should do your work, which recommends an integration in the world. Thus ends the chapter of understanding the divine and demonic attributes. Very important to understand. Very important to understand. I'll see you in chapter 17 on faith.